says that he who lives by the sword shall perish by the sword. What right man would have it any other way? The good book does indeed count war as an evil, yet there's many a tale of war inside it. It makes no difference what men think of war. War endures, as well as men what they think of stone. War was always here. Before man was, war waited for him. The ultimate trade awaiting its ultimate practitioner. That is the way it was and will be. That way, and not some other way. It's your own trade we honor here. War is your trade, is it not? Very much so. All other trades are contained in that of war. But that is not why war endures, no. It endures because young men love it, and old men love it in them. Those that fought, those that did not. Men are born for games, nothing else. Every child knows that play is nobler than work. He knows too that the worth or merit of a game is not inherent in the game itself, but rather in the value that which is put at hazard. Games of chance require a wager to have meaning at all. Games of sport involve the skill and strength of the opponents, and the humiliation of defeat and the pride of victory are in themselves sufficient stake, because they inhere in the worth of the principles and define them. But trial of chance or trial of worth, all games aspire to the condition of war, for here that which is wagered swallows up game, player, all. Suppose two men at cards with nothing to wager save their lives. Who has not heard such a tale? A turn of the card. The whole universe for such a player has labored clanking to this moment, which will tell if he is to die at that man's hand or that man at his. What more certain validation of a man's worth could there be? This enhancement of the game to its ultimate state admits no argument concerning the notion of fate. The selection of one man over another is a preference absolute and irrevocable, and it is a dull man indeed who could reckon so profound a decision without agency or significance see the one. In such games as we have for their stake the annihilation of the defeated, the decisions are quite clear. This man holding this particular arrangement of cards in his hand is thereby removed from existence. This is the nature of war, whose stake is at once the game and the authority and the justification. Seen so, war is the truest form of divination. It is the testing of one's will and the will of another within that larger will, because it binds them, is therefore forced to select. War is the ultimate game because war is at last a forcing of the unity of existence. War is God. Might does not make right, you shall surely say. The man that wins in some combat is not vindicated morally. But moral law is an invention of mankind for the disenfranchisement of the powerful in favor of the weak. Historical law subverts it at every turn. A moral view can never be proven right or wrong by any ultimate test. A man falling dead in a duel is not thought thereby to be proven in error as to his views. The willingness of our principles to forego further argument as their triviality, which it in fact is, and to petition directly the chambers of the historical absolute clearly indicates how little movement are the opinions, and of what great moment the divergencies thereof. For the argument is indeed trivial, but not so the separate wills thereby made manifest. Man's vanity well approached the infinite in capacity, but his knowledge remains imperfect. However much he claims to value his judgments, ultimately he must submit them before a higher court. Here there can be no special pleading. Here are considerations of equity and rectitude and moral right rendered void and without warrant. Here are the views of the litigants, despised decisions of life and the death of what shall be and what shall not beg a whole question of right. In elections of these magnitude are all lesser ones subsumed, moral, spiritual, natural.